Welcome back, Fragrance Fiend here today with Male Elixir by Jean Paul Gaultier, one of my most anticipated releases of the year actually, and I finally got my hands on it. Comes in both 75ml and 125ml. It's not available in Australia yet, and I don't believe the US either. It's your typical amber fougere. The perfumer is Quentin Bish, who has a very extensive resume. There have been quite a few reviews so far, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on the backstory, so let's crack it open. So I chose the 75ml, I didn't really need 125ml, and this cost me 120 Australian dollars. But I guarantee you it's going to cost a lot more than that once it's released in Australia. The bottle looks and feels amazing, it's ribbed, and the gold is a really nice touch. So to the note breakdown. In the top you've got lavender and mint with a heart of vanilla and benzoin, and lastly a base of honey, tonka and tobacco. After a few major releases in the Le Parfum, I wondered how they're going to revolutionize their Le Male lineup again. And that addition of tobacco and honey instantly had me hooked. At first I thought it was going to be a bit of a designer take on Naxos, but apparently it's anything but that. So this is mostly a first impression, so let's have a look. So it's partially true what people have been saying, that it's a bit of a combination of Ultra Male and the Le Parfum, but this is better than both of them combined. I absolutely love the Le Parfum, as does everybody, but it can be a little over the top with the cardamom in the opening. This is so much more smoother. The mintiness adds a bit of a refreshing nature to it. The lavender, which is usually in the heart, is in the top here. That is also quite minimal. What I really get though is the vanilla and benzoin, which kind of kicks into overdrive right after the top evaporates. I'm definitely already picking up hints of the tobacco and a tiny bit of that honey, and I'm really pleased to say that it's not a tonka bomb. I used to love the note of tonka beans, but it's been so overdone, and this just balances it perfectly. And I have to say, I think this is actually my least regrettable blind buy. A few minutes have gone by and the honey and tobacco are really picking up now. It's a lot less like the Le Parfum and not like Ultra Male. As with a lot of things in fragrance, people will make the smallest little connection and then blow it up, and then it just becomes a bit of a snowball, and then everybody says the same thing. I thought the general public was right about that, but now I'm not smelling that at all. The opening was impressive, but the dry down is really impressive, which is usually the opposite of a lot of fragrances that just wow you within the first 5 seconds and then become boring after that. And it's definitely very strong too. This is a fragrance you won't have to apply a lot of, even though I think I'm going to be quite addicted to applying a lot of it. The audience is definitely late teens to probably mid-30s. To be honest, I had really high expectations for this fragrance, and usually when that happens, I'm let down. But it's actually exceeded them quite a bit. To be honest, I'm not even sure what I'd really change about this fragrance. I mean, the opening was somewhat reminiscent of both Ultra Male and the Le Parfum, and it took a complete left turn. So if there's anything that I would change, it would probably be how the top developed, because a lot of people are going to be comparing this to Le Male Le Parfum, because I imagine people trying this off the shelf and who judge a fragrance off the first 5 seconds comparing this to say Le Parfum, they're going to smell it and then go with either Le Parfum because it will be cheaper than this, because most of the general public who don't know too much about fragrance will just base their perception off the first 5 seconds. After reading the note breakdown, I thought it would purely be a winter scent, but I could probably actually get away with this. Not all year round, but in cold enough temperatures that you would wear any vanilla heavy fragrance. The next surprise is probably how different it is to a lot of Quentin Bish's work. I like his stuff, but after you smell a few of his things, they tend to all smell the same, especially his work for Carolina Herrera. And not only do I think it's one of his best works, but I think this is one of the best JPGs ever. As this was kind of a first impression and I haven't tested the longevity on it, but I seem to agree on everything else that everyone else is saying, I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's probably got really amazing performance, because I've never really been let down by a JPG as far as performance goes before. A lot of people have said that even the original Le Male has been watered down, but I still get 8-9 plus hours and projects like crazy. So the one time I bought a smaller size because I thought I'd be either let down or wouldn't use it all, I really regret not getting a 125 now. So yeah, given my first impression, I'm very, very surprised that I really liked this. But then again, I love most of the JPG range, but I don't really buy much designer stuff anymore. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Definitely get your nose on this, and I'll see you next time.